Right. We are officially live. What is up, everybody? Welcome. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. It's about 6:30 my time on a Saturday. Again, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. We got an interesting one today. We're going to be talking about it's not your problem. Of course, I'm going to elaborate on that. We'll get into that in just a moment. We're going to give a chat time to fill up, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see who gets first in chat here. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little, not all there yet. Not all there yet, but we'll get there. What's up, Crystal? First in chat, what's up? Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the hearts. Ian, what's up? Jennifer, what's up? Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. It was one of those days, man. It was one of those days where I just couldn't resist the nap. Ava, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing great. Did you summon the troops, or do I have to go get everyone? I did not. I'm hoping the bot will drop a notification here in just a second. It usually does okay. Sometimes it, for some reason, waits until after the stream to drop that notification, so we'll see. But if you would like to go get everyone, I would not be opposed. How's everyone doing today, man? What's up, PJ? Why is life such a paradox? Maybe it couldn't have been any other way. Maybe. Might be onto something there. How are you doing, PJ? Alright, guys. I don't wait too long before jumping into this one, so we might as well go ahead and get started. We've already got a handful of people in here. Like I said, we are going to be talking about it's not your problem, which, until I elaborate on that, you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? But let's go ahead, let's go ahead and jump into this one, shall we? It is not your problem. So, specifically what I am referring to when I say it is not your problem, go ahead and begin here, is I am referring to your mind, right? So I'm going to jump into this one. I'm referring to your mind, and I'll start with examples, right? I'll start with examples. Ready for the Jags to have another losing season? Absolutely, man, because we all know that's how it's going to go. So I'm gonna start with examples here. So it's not your problem. When I say it's not your problem, and I will get to any questions after the point of the stream, when I say it's not your problem, I'm specifically referring to your mind. So I'm going to use the example of waking up. I'm going to use the example of waking up. How many of you guys, show of hands today, how many of you guys woke up today and your mind automatically wanted to start on a problem? That's what your mind tends to want to do, is start on a problem. If you're severely sensitized, I can guarantee that it didn't take long, maybe 5-10 minutes, if that, maybe 5-10 seconds, before your mind decided that it wanted to start in on the problem of why do I feel this way, right? You were aware, you heard the voice in your head, why do I feel this way? So 5-10 seconds right after waking up, your brain says, why do I feel this way, right? And maybe it took some time. Maybe you're not severely sensitized. Maybe it took 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and your mind eventually started on something. Maybe it wasn't why do I feel this way? Maybe it was what's going to happen in the future. Maybe it was a what if. Maybe it was something from the past. Maybe it could have been a number of things, right? Could have been a number of things. So understand that it's a matter of time, especially if you're in the sensitized boat, when the mind is very fragile, the body is very fragile. It's a matter of time before your mind starts in on some sort of problem. Now, that in itself is not a problem, right? It only becomes a problem when you make your mind's problem your problem. If you live by this and only this, you'll notice that you start to make a lot of progress here. You can't necessarily shut the mind down, right? You can't stop thoughts from coming. But what you can do is not make your mind's problems your problems. You can notice that the thoughts are coming. You can notice that the mind is talking, almost like it's a separate person, almost like it's a separate entity. There goes my mind. Not my problem, right? So the mind wants to wake you up and immediately say, how do we feel today? Do we feel this way today? Why do we feel this way? Not my problem. Don't make it your problem. See, the only reason you ended up in the sensitized boat to begin with is because you spoiled your mind. The mind knows that if it throws a loud enough tantrum, the survival mechanism knows that if it throws a loud enough tantrum via thoughts, right, that you will get involved, that you will make its problems your problems. So the moment the mind is uncomfortable and it says, "Hey, person, why do we feel this way? We shouldn't feel this way. Oh my gosh, we can't take feeling this way," and you don't separate from that, and instead you just go with that and you make your mind's problems your problems. The moment you do that, it's the moment true suffering begins, right? That's the moment true suffering begins, because now there's no separation. Now, if your mind is upset, you're upset. If your mind's angry, you're angry. If your mind is jealous, you're jealous, right? There needs to be enough separation to say, I choose not to suffer whatever my mind is going through. Okay, and how you do that is you don't make your mind's problems your problems. You become a little bit more self-aware, right? You become a little bit more conscious of what's going on. So there's got to be some space that's created. There's got to be a little separation that's created. Because think about it, the moment the mind starts to question something, or the moment the mind says, I don't like this, the mind's constantly judging, it's constantly labeling, it's constantly giving you thoughts about this or that, usually negative. And the moment the mind says, I don't like this, I don't want this, if there's no separation, you as the person make it your job to satisfy the mind. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You should not have to play full-time, 24-hour babysitter for your mind. And when you do play full-time, 24-hour babysitter for your mind, you start to develop a very, very spoiled mind. A very, very spoiled mind that knows all it has to do is get a little upset over a certain thing, whatever your triggers are, right? That's what a trigger is. It knows that all it has to do is get a little upset over a certain thing, and it'll get you involved. It'll get you to take the role of babysitter. It'll get you to take the role of problem solver, right? So the more you try to problem solve, the more upset the mind becomes, and the more spoiled it becomes, the more it throws these tantrums in the future. I love the analogy of a child throwing a tantrum wanting a chocolate bar. That's really what the mind is. It's throwing a tantrum wanting you to try to solve its problems. And the more you try to do that, the more spoiled it becomes, the louder tantrums it throws, the longer tantrums it throws, right? So can't necessarily stop thoughts from coming, can't necessarily stop the tantrums from happening, but what you can do is practice creating some space there. Stop taking it as who you are. As the one who can hear the mind being upset, you need to create space, let it have its tantrum, right? And say, you know what, that's not my problem. The moment you start getting bothered by what the mind is saying, the moment you start to connect with it and fight with it and log into it, is the moment you need to create a little space, take a step back and say, that's not my problem, that's your problem, right? That's your mind's problem. You didn't decide. You didn't just decide that you wanted to wake up. And how many people here decided, you know what, I just want to wake up today and have a head full of BS, and I just want to have a horrible day? None of you decided you wanted to wake up and have your mind start running 1,000 miles an hour, right? None of you wanted that. None of you sat down and signed a contract that said, you know what, tomorrow I want to wake up and I want to have a head full of crap. Nobody here, nobody, not a single person here wanted that. And that's how I know you're not your mind, right? Because if you were your mind, you wouldn't be hearing it. The fact that you can hear it means there's some separation already. You can't be it because you can hear it. And number two, you don't agree, you don't sign up for half the stuff, half the crap that your mind says, right? So I know you're not your mind. Now, then again comes the practice. Can you unspoil the brain? Can you unspoil the mind? It's spoiled right now because it knows all it's got to do is throw some words in your head about a problem and you'll try to solve it. Why do we feel this way? Boom, it pops into your head. Why do we feel this way? We can't handle feeling this way. If there's no separation, You're automatically going to jump in and go, oh, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to make that your problem. What is the mind? It is a series of subconscious information that's been gathered throughout your past experiences that then regurgitates itself through the form of sentences in your head that you hear, right? So you can see how it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really mean anything. Your mind collects this information through your life and it throws it back to you. And if you've spoiled your mind up until today, then it knows to do this to a very serious degree, and it knows to do this almost 24/7, right? So it's just a spoiled collection of information that won't stop coming up, because every time it comes up, you spoil it further, right? So it's just, the mind is nothing more than the brain doing what a brain does. Just like the heart, right? Just like the heart pumps blood, the mind regurgitates useless information. Now, some people might say, well, what about if it regurgitates useful information? How many times does it regurgitate useful information, right? Very, very rarely is any of the information that's being spewed out into the mind useful, right? Useful. If it is, you'll know it, but it's 9 times out of 10 going to be the same thoughts, the same what ifs, the same worries, the same regurgitated information, right? So again, the excuse me, the big question becomes, I don't want to suffer my mind anymore, but I can't get my mind to shut up. What do I do? Well, don't try to get it to shut up, because we're not going to be able to accomplish that. It'll need to calm down naturally in time. It'll need to become quieter in time. That's not something you can necessarily force. So if again, the question is, Wonder Bro, if you're telling me I'm suffering because of my mind, but you're also telling me I can't force it to shut up, then what do I do? What you do is create a little bit of space. What you do is, every time the mind has problems that is coming up, don't make them your problems, right? And this is nothing new here. This is what we've been saying for years. It's just a different way of wording it, that I hope you guys are enjoying, but it's nothing new. The mind comes up with these thoughts, you let them be, you live your life, and the moment you notice you're becoming bothered by what the mind is doing, so you start fighting with it, the moment you start fighting with it and arguing with it and adding to it what we call second gear, that's really the moment you need to step in and create even more separation and say, wait a minute, I don't have to make that my problem. That just sounds like your problem, not my problem. That could even become your inner voice, right? The moment you start fighting with the mind, the moment you start fueling the mind, investing energy into the mind instead of just leaving it alone, it's the moment you can step in and say, wait a minute, I forgot. It slipped my mind. I forgot. That's not my problem. That's my mind's problem, right? You don't wake up and decide, I want to be afraid of this. You don't wake up and decide, I want to have a head full of BS, right? You don't wake up and decide, I want to have a head full of crap. No, that's the mind's problem. It's not your problem. So I'll give you an example that's not anxiety related. I always like to try to do that to show you guys how this stuff really applies to life in general. Let's say, let's take someone who has road rage, for example, right? Let's take someone who has road rage. They got a little bit of road rage, and somebody cuts them off a little bit, and their mind immediately starts going, you can't let them get away with that. That asshole can't let them get away with that. If they know themselves as the voice in the head, instead of knowing themselves as the witness of the voice in the head, if they're attached to the voice in the head, they will make that problem of the mind their problem immediately. And then what happens? Maybe they speed up, right? They get madder. Maybe they speed up, right? And then they cause an accident, and then they kill somebody on accident, and now they go to prison for the rest of their life. Pretty dramatic example there, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. When you know yourself as the voice in the head, and you make every problem that it has your problem, this can lead to very undesired results. It can lead to accidents. It can lead to anxiety disorder, which is why all you lovely people are here, right? So understand that the mind kind of has this life of its own in a way, but it's coming up with these problems that don't necessarily have to become your problems until you adopt them, until you claim them. Once you claim them and you make it your job to figure out your mind's problems, well, now you got a problem too. And a lot of people do this without even seeing what's going on. A lot of people do this without even knowing what's going on. So, the mind can ruin a lot of things. The mind can lead to anxiety disorder. The mind can lead to this. The mind can lead to that. A little bit of separation is enough to start to create some space and realize that everything that pops up in the mind, everything that appears in the mind is being witnessed by you. You don't have to adopt it. You don't have to claim it. So I can guarantee there's people watching this stream now who's thinking, well, how is this going to help me? Right? Again, that's your mind saying that. Your mind is running. How is this going to help me? Does this guy even know what he's talking? If you make that your problem, well, now you're thinking, I might as well get off the stream, right? If the mind says, I don't understand what he's saying, and you make that your problem, well, you might as well get off the stream, right? You see how that leads to an action. So understand the mind's going to try to talk you out of this whole practice of separating from it and leaving it alone. It's going to say things like, you can't, this is serious. You can't leave me alone. Don't make that your problem. If the mind is upset today, not your problem. If the mind, stop making everything the mind says your problem, right? It's not your problem. You're the one who can witness the mind, but it's not your problem. So the mind is very good at that. It sneaks in and it makes a lot of things problems, and then unfortunately people claim and own those problems. They make it their own, and then they try really hard to solve those problems mentally, fighting, ruminating, worrying, because their mind is unhappy. So everything you do, think about it, guys. Think about this for just a second. Stay with me. Am I right or am I wrong? Feel free to disagree. Am I right or am I wrong when I say, and I want you to actually think about this for a second, when I say most of the things that you do are out of an attempt to make your mind happy? Right or wrong? Most of the things that you do are out of an attempt to make your mind happy. Right? Right? Most of the things you do are out of an attempt to make your mind happy. So you've made it your full-time job. You've made it your full-time job to try and make your mind happy. Anytime it gets upset, you've made it your full-time job to try to make your mind happy. I'm just pulling the comments up here on my end too. Second here. Too, with all their weird updates. But yeah, guys, so if you, I know I gave you about 20 seconds to think there, but wrap your mind around that a little bit. Is most of what I'm doing out in an attempt to make the voice in my head happy, right? Am I getting reassurance to make the voice in my head happy? Am I doing a compulsion to make the voice in my head happy? You'll notice that, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. So you've got a very spoiled brain. That's really all this comes down to. It's spoiled. If it knows if it throws a big enough tantrum, it'll get what it wants, right? It'll get what it wants. And that's really what this all comes down to. You have a very spoiled brain, a very spoiled mind. And you got to start going against that. You got to say, you know what, if it's your problem, it's not my problem. It's your problem, it's not my problem. So it's very spoiled. It's very spoiled. I used to look at the mind as something to be afraid of, right? But the mind is allowed to be whatever it wants to be. It's allowed, but you don't have to make it your problem, right? The mind is allowed to be whatever it wants to be, but you don't have to make it your problem. And that's what it comes down to. It can be whatever it wants to be. It can say whatever it wants to say. It can do whatever it wants to do. It's not your job to make it happy. It's not your job to wait on it hand and foot. It's not your job to control what the mind is doing at the moment, right? When you try, that's when you get into things like rumination, worry, second fear. That's when you get into the fight. That's when you get into the adding fire to fire. Right. So understand, when it comes to this practice, it's just a matter of creating a little bit of separation, and this takes practice. Just a matter of creating a little bit of separation and understanding that your mind is going to do a lot of things, and it's not your job to try to make it happen. Right. It's not your job to wait on it hand and foot. It's not your job to be the servant of your mind. Right. And that's another thing. It's never satisfied, right? It's never satisfied. Have you noticed it's never satisfied? If you get enough reassurance over one thought, it jumps to the next. If you do enough compulsions to try to get rid of this theme, it jumps to the next. So the spoiled mind is never happy as you wait on it hand and foot. right? The spoiled mind is never happy as you wait on it hand and foot. The spoiled mind is going to come in and there's always going to be something for it to throw fit about, especially as you're going through healing, especially as you're trying to make your way through recovery and your nerves are on edge and your nerves are very tired and fragile and the mind is playing off those, right? There's always going to be something that the mind wants to try to get you to solve. And when you make it your full-time job to do that, you run around in so many circles, it's miserable, right? And the more circles you run around in, the more upset your nerves are becoming. The more upset your nerves are becoming, the more upset you're becoming. It's like this loop. It's like this loop. So I'm basically with this stream giving you guys full permission to say, hey, you can retire from that job, right? You can retire from that job of trying to make your mind happy. You can retire from that job now. So when your mind presents you with some problem, total irrational fear that pops up in your brain that doesn't want to leave, every time you start to get involved and fight with it or get involved with it, you can jump in and say, wait a minute, I forgot. I don't have to make that my problem. That's not my problem. Just let the mind be upset. Mind wants to be upset, let the mind be upset. Mind wants to be this, let it be this. Mind wants to be that, let it be that. Right? You can retire. You can retire from your full-time job of trying to take care of this mind. It's not your business. It's not your problem. Took me a long time to realize. So I hope this stream was enjoyable for you guys. I hope you got something from it. I hope you learned something from it, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. We have a $25 tip here. Purple hearts in the chat, please. We have a $25 tip here from Glenn that says, thanks for all you do to help the people. You're a gift to the world. Thank you so much, Glenn. I really appreciate that. Guys, drop some purple hearts in the chat. Wrong way, this way. Drop some purple hearts for Glenn, man. I really appreciate it. Oops, let's see. Turn that back up. There we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Now we can focus on comments for a second here. Rick, I don't know why that's playing on my speakers. Rick, thank you so much for the $5 tip, man. I appreciate it. We've almost hit tip goal, and we just finished the point of the stream. Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Glenn. You guys are awesome. Show some love in the chat, man. Drop those purple hearts. Drop those purple hearts. I'm going to read the comments now. I know I've been focused, and I haven't been reading comments, but now I can read the comments. So I'm going to do a little bit of scrolling up to try to get caught up. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the purple hearts. Thank you for all the likes. You guys are being super supportive today, man. That's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Again, thank you, Rick. Thank you, Glenn, for the tips, man. I really, really appreciate it. It means a ton to me. So I'm going to do just a little bit of scrolling up and see what we missed. I probably won't be able to read everyone that we missed, or else we'll stay behind. But we'll pick some out here. Ruby says, my mind is perfectly fine, being happy, unhappy, fearful, excited, etc. Life is full of emotions. I embrace them all. I love that. Let your mind be whatever it wants to be. Don't make it your problem, right? It's not your problem. Let's see. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you. Dude, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. It's been a while since I've seen you in here, Frack. Thank you for being here. I had a bad moment this week where I felt like it was coming back, but I put the skills into play and separated myself from it and continued to be my true self. The fear, doubt, anxiety, it's not me. I love that comment. I love that comment. It goes perfectly with what we've been saying today. That is awesome. Crystal, how are you doing today? Who else we got in here? We got Gamer popped in here. What's up, Gamer? How are you doing? Welcome. I totally get it. Thank you. Absolutely. Roxanne, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to see all you guys today. Is this this must be a good time to stream. This must be a good time to stream for everybody. Could anxiety, PJ asks, could anxiety ever be a positive? When anxiety is like a positive, so when that fight or flight is like a positive, which the short answer is yes, absolutely. It'll save your life, right? You won't have time to think about it. It'd be like if a car is barreling towards you on the road, anxiety is going to kick in. It's going to get you out of there. You're going to jump out of the way. So absolutely, anxiety serves a point. You know, it serves a purpose. Unfortunately, it's just running out of control because every thought that pops up into the mind, we make it a problem, we fight with it, we argue, you know, we tire our nerves out. So yeah, absolutely, anxiety is technically a positive at the end of the day. It's there to gas you up, you know, fight or flight, save your life. And in the moments where it saves your life, you won't even have time to think about it. It'll be life or death situation. So yeah, it definitely serves a purpose in that way. um, Absolutely. And it's almost time for your toddler bladder to hit. Yeah, almost. I'm waiting on it. I'm still sipping my drink here, waiting for it to come. It's gonna happen. I always have that one pee break a stream, and it's normally because as I'm sitting here waiting on comments or reading comments, I'm sipping on these things. Is your mind, Kesh says, is your mind a much more enjoyable place after healing sensitization? You can get your mind to a much more enjoyable place where it's not so spoiled, right? Where it's not hitting you with so many negative thoughts all the time. It's not hitting you with so many intrusive thoughts 24/7, right? So you can get your mind to a much more enjoyable place, but you're not going to get it there by force. And that's really the point of this entire channel, really, is to let people know you're not going to get it there by force. You can get it to a much more enjoyable place through acceptance, through saying that I'm not going to make my mind's problems my problems any longer. I'm just going to let whatever emotions want to be. I'm going to let whatever thoughts come. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to pretend that they are who I am, right? I'm not going to try to figure it out, fight with it. So you can definitely get your place to a much more enjoyable, or your mind to a much more enjoyable place, but it's not going to be by force. It's going to be through separation and acceptance, right? Depressive feelings that come with OCD, I would treat, again, don't make your mind's problems your problems, right? This is beautiful advice because it really goes with just about anything you can dream up. So depressive thoughts, even depressive thoughts that come, these do not have to be taken personally. These do not have to be fueled. They do not have to be given importance. Practicing this separation, right? And just allowing yourself to feel how you feel, allowing what thoughts that want to come can come, but you're not giving them importance, you're not giving them fuel, you're not giving them energy. So if you're late to this stream, Daniel, and you want to rewatch it, it should be uploaded on the channel as soon as we're done here. Yeah, the voice chats. Voice channels are still open over on the Discord, so you guys can use those anytime you want to use those. Yeah, the Discord is still a thing. I think we're, oh god, I don't even know how many members we got over there, to be honest with you. If someone could drop a link to the Discord, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys again for all the support, man. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I'm sure the Discord will always be a thing, right? It has its moments where it's extremely popular for a little bit, and then everyone kind of goes on and has other things they need to figure out, right, in life, and then everybody at some point comes back together over there. So it's cool. I like it, but it'll probably always be there, I would say. 812 maybe? Yeah, I know we were close to 1,000. We were close to 1,000 last time I checked. 812 sounds about right. Discord needs to get loud again. Me and Rick and Mick can't do it alone. I need to start remembering, or mods, if you guys want to help me, let's try to start remembering to drop the Discord link into our live stream chats every time we do a live stream. Try to get more people over there. Rejuvenate it. Said you wanted to delve into some other topics, still mental health related. I think that'd be super groovy. Yeah, I keep saying that every now and then. What is up, Sky? Welcome to the stream. I keep saying that every now and then, Kesh. Don't get me wrong. I love everything we talk about here. I would like to either start a new channel for philosophy, or I would like to just make a separate playlist on this channel. The only reason I don't do it on this channel is because you can word certain things certain ways that might be triggering to people that are not quite there yet in you know, their journey to hear these sort of things. So I just don't know if I want to do it on this channel. But then again, I'm like, do I really want to start another channel? I don't know. I'm not going to let my mind win on that one. I will decide. And we'll see how it goes. Hope you're doing fantastic, Sky. Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're having an awesome day. Hope you're feeling better from last time. I remember these things. Hope you're well, Wonder Bro, and everyone. Thank you for that, Remy. I just got up not long ago from a really fat nap. So I'm like halfway not even here, honestly. I'm still trying to get woke up. I just wanted to start my day with a stream, honestly. Why not, right? Why not? I've thought about now that we have unlocked the ability to live stream on TikTok. I think you need 1,000 followers. I think we finally have that. I've thought about starting streams over there and getting some new people over there from that platform over here on YouTube. I don't know. I thought about it. No coffee. I don't remember the last time I drank coffee. I've never been a coffee person. Never been a coffee person, really. So you nap? Well, I call it a nap because it's the only sleep I've had. I was up all night and then I went to sleep. What time was it? Maybe 2, 3 in the afternoon. But I guess technically you would call it my sleep. Hey, Wonder Bro, you're awesome, bro. Thanks for being you. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was up all night. My stomach, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm gonna have to get that checked out. I'm not built for TikTok. I don't know. It got really popular, and I stood my ground and didn't download it for a very long time. And then I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And turns out it's not bad. You can function on that little sleep. Do you run on jet fuel? It's not hard, right? Talking to a friend of mine who's really successful on YouTube, and he said to make the most of the algorithm, consistency in videos is the key. So even if you live stream consistently, it doesn't. There might be more to that comment. I kind of flip-flop back and forth between live streams and videos, which is probably not very consistent. So maybe I should work on that. Maybe I should work on that. Nurse the algorithm anywhere near the same as consistent videos, so maybe got to pump out both. Whenever that's just what he said and thought I'd share. Yeah, so I was doing the consistent video thing there for a little bit, and then we did a random live stream one day, and I was like, hey, I missed this. This is awesome, and now we've been doing the live stream. So I know I think the best route is to do both, honestly. We'll see what happens with it, but I think you're right on that. You are the best, Chris. Hope you feel better soon, dude. Go get checked out. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know if I want to have the surgery to get my gallbladder taken out. I'm being a puss about it. Don't talk them out of lives, please. Go to the freaking doctor already. I'll just die. Someone has been co-opted. I won't mention names. Cough. One. I didn't get that one. That one went over my head, I'll be honest. Still working out, or did the mind get the better of you on that one? Mine got the better of me on that one. We were talking about that the other day, actually. I meant both because honestly I prefer the lives, but I just want to see our boy succeed. Yes, absolutely. I'd like to continue growing the channel. We hit a bit of a, I don't know, just stagnant period there. Hit a bit of a stagnant period there. I like how you worded that, by the way, PJ. It really goes with everything we were saying today. It's all a mind game. It's all a mind game. We need another, I missed my mouth on that? What's happening? I'm gonna go get another drink real quick. Thank you, Sky, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by as well, man. You're awesome. I'm gonna get another drink real quick, guys. Give me 2 seconds. All right. From Ripe Soul there. Well, welcome to the Discord, man. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you start feeling better soon, Sky. Hopefully these streams will continue to be a thing, and you can spend some time in here with us. Might help you out. We got your back. We got your back. Which chat do we talk? Yeah, it really depends on what you want to talk about. They're all just all the chats over there are just themed based on the conversation. A lot of people talking, well, obviously support chat, and then hangout chat. Those are probably going to be the two most popular, I would say. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions, man, feel free to ask those questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Doesn't matter if it's on today's topic or not. If it's anxiety related, we will do our best. Okay, awesome. I'm on there. I'll drop a message in support chats. Nice. Luis, what did I miss the topic? We post topic now. So we basically just talked about how don't make your mind's problems your problems, right? Nothing new, just a different way of putting it. Don't make whatever your mind comes up with your problem. You're not your mind, right? You're not those thoughts in your head. They can come. You don't have to make them your problem. You don't have to try to solve them. It's not your job to figure them out. It's not your job to fight with them. So if the mind wants to be upset, it can be upset. It's not your problem, right? If the mind wants to say this, it can say this. If it wants to say that, it can say that. Stop trying to solve, right? That was basically the main point of the stream. Stop trying to solve your mind's problems. Just let it be your mind's problems. Don't take it personally, right? That's a big one. Don't take it personally. You don't have to own and claim everything your mind comes up with, right? You don't have to own and claim everything your mind comes up with. You have a very spoiled mind. It knows if it throws a big enough tantrum, it'll get what it wants. So we're trying to prove that that's not the case anymore. Your mind can do and say whatever it wants to do and say. You don't have to claim it. You don't have to own it. You are not your mind. Stop making it your problem. You know, if you wake up and your mind's upset, fine, let it be upset. It's not your problem, right? You don't have to try to fix it. Don't have to try to solve it. Don't have to try to do basically anything with it, right? That's where you get in trouble, is when you invest so much energy um, into the mind, when you make your mind's problems your problems. So that was, in a nutshell, of course, that was the point of today's stream. But it's good to see you, Luis. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. In the gym, living normal life. I love it. Love it. What's up, Michael? Often feel like less of a person because of my mental health issue, but I guess that's also a mind game. It is. It does come in the form of a thought, right? You'll notice that it does come in the form of a thought that you can either own or just notice. That you can either just own or notice. I would suggest just noticing, right? Do appreciate you all, though. Thank you all for your support and sexiness. Didn't see that coming. Absolutely, Sky. No problem. No problem. And thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for being here and watching and supporting. The likes and Rick and who else was it? Get that name real quick. It's already disappeared now. I think it was Glenn. I may have got that wrong. Thank you guys for the tips, man. Thank you to everybody, man, for any form of support. I really appreciate it. Bo, what's up, dude? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Long story short, I just take my feelings and thoughts with me everywhere I go. Nothing ever happens besides you missing out on life. I love it. That's true. That's all facts right there. All facts right there coming from Luis. Joseph says, thank you for your work. Thank you for watching, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the Discord server. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna try to start remembering to drop that Discord server link more often. See if we can get some new people over there. Yeah, Michael, you'll notice a lot of these stories come from the mind, right? A lot of these stories come from the mind. You don't necessarily have to own them, right? You can see it as a product of the mind. Try to create some space there. Try to create a little bit of separation. That's really the way to go. That's really the way to go. Takes practice. I mean, especially if you've been identified, is what we say, identified with the mind for so long. Takes practice to realize that it has nothing to do with you, actually, what's going on up there. You can either notice it or own it, and I would notice it. Don't own it. Doesn't, it's just the mind. Don't have to own it. Don't make the mind's problems your problems. That was the main point of today. Don't make the mind's problems your problems. Could I delete that? Doesn't bother me. You guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about. What do we want for dinner today, chat? What do we want for dinner today? Watching Chiefs and Jacks preseason. I didn't even know that was going on. If you can afford it to do the coaching with Wonderbro, he adapts to your personality and gives you the tools you need. Best investment ever. Keep building with coaching. Yeah, if you guys are ever interested in the one-on-one coaching, man, it's something I do offer. Thank you for mentioning that, Luis. Luis is part of my coaching. Um, just send me a DM, man. Any of the Vacate Fear social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of those things, I'll get back to you. Stories of people recovering and living normal life for more than 1 year so we can look up into it and cheer up. You can type in success stories. I did like some videos sort of similar to that. I've never done like any like interviews, but that would be a cool idea maybe I could do in the future. But yeah, you can look up like Vacate Fear success stories. There's some videos I put together of like comments from people and stuff like that. So I got something similar to what you're saying. Bananas, how many symptoms are linked to sensitization? Really helped me when I just lumped all of them in sensitization. Yeah. Yeah, once you get, if you're concerned that something else is going on, get cleared by a doctor, right? Obviously. But once you get to that point of just saying, you know what, it's my anxiety again, just kind of bunch it all in there. Make it simple on yourself. There is a success story chat also, a success story channel over on the Discord. Um, I think it's a great idea to do some success story / interviews. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I know a lot of channels do that. Been thinking about it. First time I've been in a live chat. What's up, Jenny? Welcome. Yeah, something easy on the golf. Yeah, needs to be something easy on the golf ladder. Welcome to your first live chat, Jenny. We're all mad here. And love from Sky. Speed dating. Maybe I'll host some speed dating, some anxious speed dating. Like they do on TikTok, only we'll be anxiety themed. Big stretch incoming. Ugh. So much floating or method I even thought about translating nothing works article. Nothing works article is awesome. I love it. Anxious speed dating would be hilarious. I have a feeling nobody would show up. and it's like we're finding it really hard to do the acceptance and everything. My biggest piece of advice for you, because you wouldn't want to overcomplicate this, right? There's too much information out there. You don't want to overcomplicate this. If I had to give you just one piece of advice to get on your feet, I would say start creating distance between you and your mind. As you notice thoughts are rolling in, remind yourself they're not your problem. That's your mind creating these thoughts. Do not make them your problem. Do not try to solve them, figure them out, fight with them. And of course, there's feelings too. Again, not your problem. So again, don't overcomplicate this. You're in a place right now where you want to keep this super sweet and simple. If I could give you one thing to practice, Jenny, it would be as thoughts are rolling in, create a little bit of space. How do you create a little bit of space? By realizing that you're the one who's aware of the thoughts coming in, and as the one who's aware of the thoughts coming in, you can decide, do you try to figure out what the thoughts are saying? Do you try to solve them, fight with them? Or do you just notice that there's the voice chattering away and don't make it your problem? You can actually even say that to yourself, that's not my problem. So the mind says, blah, 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 not my problem. The moment you start fighting with the mind and getting bothered by it, you can say that to yourself, wait a minute, that's not my problem, right? And it's going to try to suck you in, that's okay, but it's not your problem. Not your problem. That would be the one simple piece of advice that I would start everything with, because it's going to be the backbone of everything that you do here with your healing. I'm about to roll out, guys. Hope everyone has a good day / night. Thank you for being here, Crystal. I'm about to roll out as well. We're about at that 1 hour mark. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you so much again to you guys for watching. Thank you so much for liking the live stream. Thank you so much for the tips. We had a $25 tip come in. We had the $5 tip from Rick. Thank you guys so much. But I believe that's everything, man. Yeah, if you're interested in one-on-one personal coaching with me, I do messaging or phone calls. Let me know on any of the Vacate Fear social media. And I believe that's everything, man. Another good stream in the books here. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I love you. And yeah, that's it. That's everything. Till next time, man. As always, stay awesome.